Heyo! Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, we will be learning the choreography to Answer by ATEEZ. This will be a full step-by-step tutorial to help you learn the dance moves, and in today's tutorial, we will be following Yunho the majority of the time. Alright, let's get started. So to begin with, I will be following Son. He's in the middle and he's down on his knees. And you have to take a pretty wide stance with your knees. And then you're going to have your left hand down on the ground. And if you're tall, it's kind of hard to get down here. And you're going to be looking down at your hand. And then your right hand's going to be out by your side, up. And then you're waiting here for a moment. And then you bring your right hand up and switch hands. You don't actually touch the ground with your right hand, and then you're going to bring this hand up behind you and slowly drop it down. So you're here and switch, and then you're going to slowly switch hands, and they're kind of replacing each other. So one's going up and one's going down. So your left hand's going to start here and your right is going to be down here, and they're going to slowly switch, and you're going to follow your gaze and your head with your right hand and slowly bring it up. And then you're going to keep your hand out in front of you, and you're going to slightly bring in this leg and your right leg, and then you're going to step up on your left. So bring this in and step up. From here you're going to start to turn your hand, and you're going to shake your hand while you do that. So shaking, and then you pop, and then you close, starting with your pinky, close your fist, and then you pop again, and then you start to move in the left direction. So you pop and move. So it should be one quick motion from there. So it should be here, and then you start to move. So you're shaking, close, pop, and walk, and you're going to take 3 slow steps. And he drags his leg behind him. So this is your first, second, and third. Now from here, I start to follow Woo Young, and then he comes around the circle, and then he jumps to the side, over this way, brings both hands in front of him, and then he hits them like this 3 times. So you're here, 2, and then on the third one, when he does it, he slides his right leg in. So here. And then from here, he opens this leg back up, opens his right leg back up, and turns his head a little bit farther to the left. And he does more of a dramatic movement with his right leg. So you're here, and then you're opening back up, you hit and open back up, and then you look to the right. Then you start to walk to the right, and you bring both hands up as you come over, and then as you start to drop down, you cross your arms and come down and kind of shrug your shoulders a little bit. So you're up and you're down, and then you're like this. And then he bops his shoulders up and down to the beat, and then he brings his left hand up onto his left leg, and brings his right hand forward, and then brings it back, and drops it back down, and then he brings back up his right arm, and pushes away twice to the right, and then drops it back down, and then he'll bring up both hands here, and he has his left finger pointed out to the right, and then he swipes it with his right hand twice, and then he starts to stand up, and he raises up his left toes, puts his right hand on his mouth, and this hand in his left hand is down, and then he throws. And now from here, I switch to Yunho, and I will be following him pretty much the whole way through. It's just like, again, you couldn't really see him super well right now. So now he's coming out from behind, and you can see him. He has his left hand up on his temple, pointing, And then they do a double throw before they drop down. So he's here, and then he throws and comes down. Then he brings his left hand on the inside of his left thigh, and then brings it out and curls it. And then he steps up and steps to the right with his left foot and drops this hand back down. And then he curls it up and brings it in front of his face. When Hyun Jung says you go back and forward with your head. And then you turn to the back. So let's go ahead and do a quick recap. Alright, so you're here, and this hand's out to the side, and up, and switch, and you're up. And bring this leg in, step up with your left, and you're up. Shake and turn, and pop, close your fist, and go to the left. And slide, and slide, and slide. And then walk over to your next position as Woo Young. And then 1, 2, 3, and then open, turn, and turn to the right, and come back to the middle. Hands up, drop down, bob down, hand comes up here, forward and back, and wave twice, and swipe twice, and hand comes up to the face, toes come up, and throw. Now we're back to Yunho, pointing at your head, and you throw down, in, turn, out, step, roll, hand comes up to the face, and coming around to the back. In the first section, we did the intro, verse 1 and verse 2. Now let's move on to the pre-chorus and the chorus. We're going to be following Son. You're going to start with your feet shoulder width apart, and then you're going to drop down and bring your arms out. He slides his feet out, but as you can see, I have trouble sliding on the carpet, so I'm going to have to do a little hop to get my feet up. So here's our hop, and we're down. And then you start to rotate to the left, and you want your arms really strong and bent at the elbows, and rotate to the left. And you're dropping your right knee down as you do that, and then you pop, and then you drop down and bob when you come down to the ground. Then you look up, bring your right hand up just a little bit, slide back your left leg, and you're preparing to stand up, and you elbow as you stand up. So elbow and look down. And then when you do the next move, you look up. So you throw your arms in front of you and look up. Now we're going to step to the middle and start to follow Yunho again. So beckoning with your 2 fingers and opening and closing your legs, and then a little hop and bring your arms out to your side while you're opening and closing your legs. So little hop and bring your arms down, and then you step out with your right leg and bring your arms up like this, and then you switch here, and then from here you bring your left leg behind your right, and left arm comes up, and your hand's kind of in a C shape, and then your right arm's in front of you, and you're bobbing, and you're taking little steps as you bob. So here, up, then you open, and then you bob with your left hand. On the third bob, you bring your head down, come back up, and bob again, and then you point, and you bring your hand up kind of like a flat blade, and you're going to spin around to your right. Do your spin. That was a nice spin. And now you step over to the left, and we're going to start the chorus. And so from here you bring your right arm down and have your hand open and bring your left hand on your hip, and you do a little step and then open. So together that's step and open. And then you bring your hands up, and then you bring your right leg, or your right knee I should say, up, and then you follow with your left and you put it in front of your right. So together that looks here and step. Then you step out to your right and bring this arm up. You bring your right arm up and you're pointing and you step out. So you're here. You let your head kind of loosely follow your arm back to the left. So here and here. Then you bring your hands to your chest and then you bring them up. And now you're going to want to bring your right leg up, and we're preparing to do that fancy footwork with the arms like this. So you're up, and then as you drop down and bring your knee up, you want to let your whole body follow, or the whole top half of your body follow down. So up and down, so you're curling the top half of your body over your knee, and then you open back up and you're bringing your right arm from behind and going like this and like this while you do the footwork. So right leg's behind you to start. You're bringing your right arm forward, and so you're here, and then you switch, and then you only do the arm movements twice, and you always lead with your right arm up, even when you're facing the other direction. So that makes things a little bit easier. So here, and then you bring your hands down and open, then you hop, and then as you start to face to the right, you bring your left arm in an elbow, and then you let your body come forward as you do that, as you hop to the right. So you hop and then body wave up, and then you start to do the arm movements again, and you kick out your left foot in front on this one. So here, here, and then from here you start to kick your legs. So you kick forward with your left and then switch to your right, and then you're coming to the center, and then you're going to do these little hops once you're in the center. You can follow Yunho if it's easier to follow him. He's doing almost the same thing as Yunho, just slightly different. Or you can just follow Yunho. He's right off on the end of the left side. So from here, you're going to hop down, you're going to point your right hand down, you're going to hop up really quick, and then come back down and bring your right arm and your right hand up by your face. And then everyone stays here except for Yunho. So he actually slides up and like turns his wrist in. But we're going to stay here for the moment. And then you're going to bounce and switch your arms and bring up your left and drop your right. And then you're going to jump up and bob with your right hand, and your body kind of follows. And then you're going to step out with your right and bring your left hand in front of you, and step out with your left and right hand comes up. Then from here you're going to kick and bring your hands down by your side. And you kick kind of like in a round motion to your left. So you're going up with your arms and then you kick. So kick, and then you come up dramatically, and you can't see Yunho right now, so I follow San for this part, and he just dramatically brings his arm down in front of his face. So before we start on to Yunho's section where he's dancing in the middle, we're going to go ahead and recap the pre-chorus and the chorus. So you're in the middle, and you drop down, start to come to your left, and you're almost turning as far as you can, and pop and come down. Look up, right arm comes up, slide back, and elbow up. And throw and look up and come to the center. Now, back in with your fingers and open and close your legs. Here and open, and then step out and step out again. And then you bring your left behind your right and bob up and bob up. Jump open and bob, bob, head up. Point and spin. And then we're stepping out, up, hands are up and crossing. Step out, head follows, hands here, hands up, here and here, here, open, hop, go the other direction and body wave up, open, open, kick, kick, open, up, drop again, and bounce and up, bob, bob, step out, and kick, and come up, and come down. And that concludes the recap for that previous section. Now we're going to go ahead and follow Yunho through this part. He's running out, and then he's kind of like bobbing as he starts to do his section. So he comes here, and then he steps back a little bit, and then he brings his hands up and down once, so up and down, and he raises up his left leg, steps forward, and that's when you curl up your hands and get ready to cross them. So you're here, and then you go like that, and then you step, close, and step, because he's taking little steps forward every time that he does a new move. And then you step again and pull. So after you pull down, you start to do the bula bula part, and you bring your hands like this in front of you as you do it, and you kind of kick these legs back as you're repositioning. So you pulled down, and 1, 2, 3, and then you're back down. And then you open up, bring your hands up, and then you thrust your hips out, and you're looking to the left while you do it, and your hips kind of go to the left while you're thrusting. And then from here, you're going to look to the back, to the front, and to the back. So you're down here, then you bring this leg up, and it's like you're running in place. Here, and then this way, and then this way. And then now you want to swing your leg behind you. Your leg is supposed to give you momentum to help you turn and take a hop toward the right. So when you're looking back, you hop and come this way, and this leg, your left leg, should land in front here, and then you switch legs and you drop and slide up, then you drop again and you shake your hands up as you do it. And then from here you want to spin to the back, so you spin to the back, and then you throw forward, and then you spin twice to the right while they're moving. So you throw and then you spin twice to the right while they're moving. And as you can see, I can't go farther that way. And then from here you bring your hand up and you bob again, and then you open and thrust again twice, and then you spin to the left and drop down, and you should be spinning around your left leg, and that's the one that's going to bend as you come down. So you're here, and then you come up and spin around that left leg, and then you drop down. Then you stand back up. Okay, and that last section was the refrain, and now we're going to go ahead and go on to verse 3. And we're still following Yunho. So after you stand up, you step to the right, and then you throw your hands out to the side. So you're here, and that should be 1. Bring them in, 2, and 3. And then you step out just a smidgen back to the left, and you like pump your arms, leading with your right and coming up with your left. And then you kneel down, coming down, and then you stand back up. And for just this one little spot, I follow Songhua, and he brings his hands up like this in front of him, right over left, and then he's looking down at them, takes a little step back with his left, and then you open with your left and then your right. So you're here, and then you're here, and then you stand up. And now you can just follow Yunho. So you raise your left shoulder, and it's just like a little pop. Bring your left arm up, and you should have 2 fingers out, pointing down, and you bring your left leg up. So you bring up your right arm and left leg. And then you pop, pop, and drop. And then you drop both arms, and then you bring up your right knee, and then you bring up your arms right over left, hands are closed, and as you step to the side, you throw to the side. And then you do a little cross step behind with your right leg, and come over here, and then you bring out your right arm, kind of bend it just a little bit, preparing for the next part. Then you come out and hop 3 times in, and then go the other way, hop 3, and then you step and bring your shoulders up. Your hand is open on your left hip, and you're stepping, stepping. Bigger step here and drop your arms down, and then step back with your right and turn your heel out on your right foot, and then you're going to go back. And now before we start Yunho's solo, we're going to go ahead and recap. Alright, so we're coming from the back again as Yunho, and kind of skipping forward, and he's preparing to get ready. Hands out, and you close, and then you're in the middle, and then he again steps with his left while he does each move here. So pump, raise, and forward, forward, and forward, and pull. And then here, 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 open, thrust, thrust, and then you're back, front, back, and switch. Making sure your left leg lands in front of your right. And then you switch, come back up, and flick your hands as you come back up for the second time, and throw and turn. And they're actually kind of like skipping while they do this part, like little hops as they move. So they're going here and around, and they turn twice. And then hand comes up twice, and open again, thrust, thrust to the left, spin around your left leg, and drop down. Stand back up, step to the right, and arms come out, 1, 2, 3, pump and drop down. Stand up, hands come here, look at them, little bit of a step back, and come out to the left, right, and jump up. Left shoulder, here we are up again, bounce, bounce, up, hands up, and step to the right, and cross to the left. And arm comes out, bends a little bit. Out, hop, hop, out, hop, hop. And then step, shoulder, step, shoulder, step, step, heel. And that concludes this recap, so we're going to go ahead and move back on over to the pre-chorus, following Yunho through his little solo. So now you're in the middle of the group, and Son has his back turned to camera, and you're on the other side of him, and you have your hand on his shoulder, and you're ready to step out for your part. So you have your left hand on his shoulder, and you drop down and you step out with your right, and then you kind of cross over, kind of hop skip to the right. So you're here and here and here, and then here's where you start to come up and bring your arms up all gracefully as he does. So I'm going to do that part a little bit faster, and when he's over here, while he brings up his arms like this, he's actually stepping with his left in front as he does it. So come down, step, step, and up, and look up at your hand and drop your hands down, and you're looking to the right. Bring up your left hand and give it a little pizzazz there and bring it back down. And I don't know how well you can see it from this angle, but he's just dropping his wrist, and he's got his hands kind of like this, but it's a very soft shape. So it's not too rigid like this, it's more like this. So you do that here and come back down, and now you're waiting to rejoin everybody. And then you face forward and bring your hands up and bring it together and spin and throw. And then they say me, and he places his hand on his chest when they say me. Then they step out and he goes here and here and step, and they do little steps every time they take a move in this little section. So you're here, you're step, step, and now from here you step with your left leg and bring your right leg up. So step and step. And then here you come down, you bring your left hand to the inside of your left thigh. Right arm comes open behind you, and you're opening and closing your legs twice. And then you pump and bring your hand forward, curl it again, then you stand up, and then you do a turn to your left and exaggerate it a little bit. So you're like letting your head roll as you turn. So here, and then when you come back around, you have your back facing to the front, and then you turn your wrist in, bring your hand back, and then dramatically shoot your arm out. And now you're preparing to elbow in and turn back toward the left from where you're at. So here and turn, and now you're gonna go off to the left again. And this is where everyone, they do a little like shake it off sort of movement. They like shake it off, and then they throw their hands up again, and they come back into the same movements that we did in the last pre-chorus chorus section. So you're here, come up and drop down again, step to the right, here, and then hands here, up, down, here, here, open, together, pull, body roll up, and then here, here, and then you kick again, here, kick, kick, and then you start to move, and here you're just going to be, while you're moving, you're just bringing your knees up and repositioning. And then once you're positioned, bring your right hand up and swoop it down, and take a little step back, and a little step back, and then you pull your arms together in front of you and hop up. So you're here and hop up, and bounce, bounce, step out again, step out again, and here you're gonna step back. You are actually rolling forward through this part. So roll and throw forward. And then Yunho comes forward. He starts moving with his right foot, brings his left foot in front, and then he does a little hop. And then he'll do 1, 2, 3, and then you spin to the left and you plant. So 1, 2, 3, and plant. And then you come up, throw your arms up, right arm on top, left arm on bottom, and then come back down, and then stand up, and then you're going to move to the back. And now we're going to do a little recap of the second pre-chorus and the second chorus. And this is where we have Yunho's solo. So you're here, hand up on Son's shoulder, stepping down, stepping over, and looking up, dropping your hands down, and dipping your wrists and coming back down, coming to the front, pull, spin, throw, me, step, cross, step, step, and then you switch, step, and open, open, and then pump, and step forward and close, and then spinning to the left, and stopping, and rolling your wrist towards you, hand comes out, and spinning back over this way. Now we're back to where we have to do the fun footwork. So you shake it off and throw, step, turn, hands here, up, down, here, here, open, hop, come together, roll up, and here, here, kick, kick, 1, 2, and you're down, hand comes up, and roll, step, cross, jump, and bounce twice, step out, roll, and throw. Then we're coming forward from here, and I'll step back, and right foot, a little double step as you come forward with your left, and 1, 2, 3, and here you're gonna spin and plant. And I don't want to hit the couch. And then hands up, and then down. Now we're gonna go ahead and start the bridge. And so after you did your 1, 2, 3, spin and plant, you come up, come down, stand up a little, bring this arm, your left arm kind of back forward, and then you move to the back. And then you stand here, look down, and you're grabbing the other member's hands while you do this. And then from here you look up, you bring your left leg behind your right, and then you hop open, and then you bring your hand down in a wave and you follow it over to the right. So down, and then you're going to curl, come down and create a C shape with your hand, and then your left hand comes over and back over your thigh while you do that. And then you close your hand starting with your index finger and ending with your pinky. So it's open and close. Why is that so hard? So you step back after closing and you throw. And then Yunho comes to the middle and you bring your hand up in front of your face. It's getting kind of dramatic here. Come up in front of your face. Bring your hand up by your side and then push it down and bend down and drop down low. And then following Yunho again, he crosses his arms and brings up his left leg. And then from here you're going to jump wide, and bring your legs up like this. So, and you fan your arms out while you jump. So here, and then from here you prepare to spin. So you spin and hit open, come down with your left and hit, and then you bring your right hand up to your face, and then you're going to jerk your head and your hand at the same time. You're going to do it twice to the left and once to the right. So here, here, and back. And then from here you're going to step forward, and you start bringing your right hand forward, and then your left proceeds. So you're here, here, and step. Make it dramatic. And then you're going to bring your hands kind of together here, kind of almost crossing but not quite, bringing them together on your left shoulder. And then you step again and look up at your hand, and then you come down. Then you bring your left hand here and place it on your chest, and then you curl this hand, your right hand up right next to it. Then you open with your left, and then you bring your right up, and you're gonna do this movement as you spin. So you're gonna spin and bring your leg out as you spin. And that's your right leg that you're using to gain momentum for the spin. Okay, and then once you spin, you drop back down here, and your hand starts in an upward position, kind of by your armpit. And every time you move your hand forward, you need to exaggerate your body and your head as you do it, and pop each time. So here, 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 here. And then you stand up and pull, and then you're going to spin toward the front, which you're going to be coming around back over this way. So we're facing to the right, so you're spinning to the right and back around. So here, then you spin, plant, body wave up, and shake it off, and then go to the back. And then right here, when Yunho goes to the back right here, you can't really see what he's doing for part of it, and then he's not really dancing. So we're gonna follow Woo Young right here. So this is the 1, 2, 3, let's burn again. So it's 1, 2, 3, let's, and you bring up, you're like preparing, bring up your right arm, your left arm comes up to your chest and it's open, prepared already for the next movement. So you come up and then you drop down, and then you rock back and forth with your hips and your hand. And you just leave your left hand up on your chest open. So you're rocking like this, and then you move into the mula mula part, and mula mula, and plant, and you're here, thrust again, thrust again. Now here's where we change what happened in the last part that was similar to this. Bring your hands up together in front, left should be over right, here, here, jump together, pump your arms, and you want to pump like this. You have your right hand up, pump, and then as you bring this hand up and straighten out this one, you kick. So you go pump and kick. Now you have a wide stance. You close your fists, and then you throw, and then as you reach the end of the throw, you open them again. So throw, come back up to center, hand on your left hip is open, and your other hand is open, kind of facing here, and then you're doing a little movement like this, and you lead with your left shoulder, so pumping here, hands stay where they're at, and then you're going to bring your left toe out and follow with your left heel, and you pump that twice. So here, here, and then when they do this part again, he does little tiny steps, and I'm following Yunho right now. once you can see Yunho again, after you're following Woo Young, you just follow him again for the time being. So you do little tiny steps during this part. Step, step, step. And this is where I change to San, because personally I don't like to dance with my back facing to the crowd. So it's really easy because you're already here and you step and come out wide and do that really big head roll, and you want to come back as far as you can. He goes really far back, so just come back as far as is comfortable for you. So you come out and come around and come back up, and he throws, stands up and throws again. And then you do the little bob again, and then hip thrust again, and step out, wait here for a moment, then you walk in with your left, cross over with your right, and you bring your hand up in a fist at the very end here, and when you slam it down, you open it. So up and throw, and look at your hand and soften your hand in your gaze as you come down. And that's the end. So we're going to go ahead and recap this last section, and then we will be all done. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and start this final recap from the 1, 2, 3 let's burn part with Yunho. You're here, 1, 2, 3, and then you spin and plant. Arms up, come back down, and stand up and come to the back. Look down, cross and hop, down and curl and hand over and back and curl your hand and step back and throw. And then right here you're coming up to your head, making it dramatic and coming back down, and then you're following Yunho again and cross and jump, spin, hit, 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 and then got your hand up here and to the left, to the left, to the right. Hand come forward, and step out, making it dramatic. Hands come in, step up and look up. And hands come in again here, like this, and open and spin. Come out wide, drop, and exaggerate every time you go forward. So you're here, 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 here. Pull and spin forward and roll up, shake it off, and come to the back. And now we're Woo Young again. And 1, 2, 3, let's burn. In this part you actually do 4 times, you can count it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and coming back to the center here. From here you can follow Yunho, because you can see him again and he's dancing. You're here, and then you open and thrust again. Arms come up, jump together, pump, and hands come up, and they're little like blades. And kick and open, hands are closed, and then they open, and then you step back together, shrug your shoulders, move your feet, and baby steps as you shrug your shoulders. From here, just for the moment, we're going to follow San while he does his big dramatic move, and you come back, and then he throws once, steps together, throws again. From here, I'm just going to follow Yunho to the end. So do your little bob with your hand, open, thrust, thrust to the left, step to the right, look down, lead with your left, cross with your right, coming back to the middle, hands up, fist is closed, and open and release. Kamsahamnida! Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get updates on all my new tutorials, and I hope to see you in my next video.